All right, the Houston Texans have a huge game coming up, and they catch an unexpected break. We're going to get right into it. If you're new to the channel, we're Detroit Lions fans, but we have this channel talking about teams that just kind of get overlooked by the national media. Texans are one of those teams. They're definitely getting noticed now, just like the Lions, but for a couple of years there, it's just like nobody really took them serious. But, man, this is an opportunity to really show everyone that they are a team that needs to be really respected and that the hype is real and that they can be a real player in the AFC. So here's some of the stuff that kind of didn't expect. If you look at the Buffalo Bills injury report, couple things in here. Defensive tackle Ed Oliver will not play. Another one is Austin Johnson, defensive tackle, will not play. This is huge because the Texans, just like any other team, but Texans especially, I think just because of you think of Stroud, you think of the weapons, Nico Collins, Tank Dell, and all that. You're like, all right, let's throw the ball. It's like you got to run the ball. And so if they can catch a break here by having two defensive tackles out, it's huge. And then if we go and take a look here at because the Texans injury report's interesting. The Texans have Joe Mixon is not going to be playing, and Dameon Pierce is uncertain, so it goes to Cam Akers and Dare. And so you got to run the ball, though. So Cam Akers is definitely capable, but it's like, boy, let me scroll down here. Cam Akers is definitely capable, but it's also something where you want to make sure you're running the ball well. So Tank Dell is somebody that we're going to be watching for. I guess the receivers, right? We're going to be kind of watching for. But let me go over to one other thing here. If the Texans can run the ball, that would be huge. We know this. Hold on. There we go. If the Texans can run the ball, it's going to be huge. You've got players out. Also, the Buffalo Bills, what are they, right? They had three. I never want to say easy games because in the National Football League, there is no easy game. But they played an easier schedule. Then they go to the Ravens and get absolutely just ran out of the building. So what are the Bills? We know Josh Allen's going to be elite, but we know that the Texans are going to have an opportunity to run the football. And so this is what I thought was interesting. This comes from a Buffalo Bills website. We're going to run through this real quick. It says 5 keys to victory, Bills versus Texans. And again, the Bills, this is a Bills website. So it's interesting to see what they have to say, what's important to stop and contain Nico Collins. This is pretty cool up here in Michigan fan, to see Nico Collins. Thought he was good at Michigan, didn't get the opportunities just because Michigan at that time really wasn't a passing team. I guess they never really were, but they didn't have a capable quarterback. Plus, oddly enough, Michigan being a running school had a ton of wide receivers when Nico Collins was there. Tariq Black was one of them. But Nico Collins was like, man, he's good, right? It's hard to, yes, he is. And so if you can contain him, that would go a really long way because all eyes will be on Diggs as he plays his first game against the Bills after having the best 4 years of his career, 100%. But the Michigan product is averaging a league best 122 yards per game, 30 receptions, and 2 touchdowns. So, again, we haven't even talked about this. Diggs playing against his former team. There's been some comments made. So they're going to shut him down, do everything they can to shut him down. You're going to be trying to get him the ball, but it's Nico Collins. Don't forget that. Here's what the Bills think they have to do. They have to get off to a fast start. Before the loss in Baltimore, Buffalo only scored 3 first-half points. It had dominated the Dolphins and the Jags, and this is what I was talking about earlier, how this could be a weaker team than we think just because they haven't played the best competition, and when they have, they got steamrolled. So, come on, right? That's what we're talking about here. And the next thing is it's going to be really key for, I guess the theme of this video is the break that you catch is that you are going to be able to run the football because it looks like for a minute you don't have your starting running back in Mixon, don't have his backup probably, one of his backups, but you have Cam Akers, so that's going to be huge. So the Texans have one of the best wide receiver trios in the NFL. Those three But it'll come down to, can you stop the run? Can you run the ball and stop the run? And so that's going to be huge. And then the final thing here is take the free yards. Houston is one of the worst teams in the league at taking penalties. It gives away 81 free yards per game, which is third worst. Be smart. Don't retaliate and let the officials be the star of the show. So even the Buffalo Bills are recognizing that there's been false starts. There's been penalties after the whistle. There's been things that the Houston Texans have done. So just think about this. You clean that up and you run the ball. This is a win for the Texans. Then you're now atop of the AFC, or you're up there in the AFC, Chiefs, whatever. But you're one of the teams now where it would be talked about like Chiefs, Ravens, Texans, Bills. Even if you beat them, they'll be up there too. And that just feels a lot better than you lose this game. That's like, oh man. Then it's just kind of this like, where are we? Because we kind of lost a weird game already this year. Are we as good as we thought? We are, I think. I don't know. So let's look at it here where let's pull up the schedule. I think this is really interesting too. So you play a Bills team, that's going to be hard. And then after that, check this schedule out. Patriots. It's like, gosh, again, there's no easy team in the NFL, but that just feels like a manageable game. And then it's Packers, Colts, Jets. So a lot of randomness before it gets real crazy. So check this out. Lions, Cowboys, Titans, Jags, not bad. Dolphins seems easy. Chiefs, Ravens, and then back to the Titans. So a divisional game's always going to be tough with the Titans, but come on. Jags are feeling weirder than ever. So this feels like a huge game. If you can win this, then beat the Patriots. Packers, toss-up game. Tough game against the Colts. Jets are nothing. Lions, tough game. Cowboys is always going to be tough. And then you've got some divisional games. Dolphins are sprinkled in there. Who knows what they will be. So this is a huge game to win this one, keep the momentum of the season, and then get into some different games that are all manageable. You have a manageable schedule. And I think if you're a Texans fan, you just have to be so pumped about that, because looking around at some other first-place schedules in the league, people that won the division last year, tough. Lions are one of them. It's like, golly. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. I think the Texans run the ball and should be fine. Going for 20,000 subs on this channel, so would love if you would subscribe. Texans are a team, man. We've been on them for a long time, even before last year when they started to really play well. So make sure you subscribe, and we'll see all of you on the next one.